Well, a fascinating conversation there, Greg. Thank you so much. And what a way to start day 2 of the India Global Forum UAE 2021. Thank you so much. We now move on from innovation to growth now. And the UAE has presented opportunities for trade and connectivity ever since we can remember. Now geopolitics are shifting and trade routes, of course, are evolving. Joining me now is a prolific global investor, and it's a great pleasure to welcome Navroz Udwadia, the co-founder of AlphaWave, formerly Falcon Edge, who joins us virtually. A very warm welcome.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our guest a warm welcome there. I'd just like to say what a great pleasure, what a great honor it is to have you here at the inaugural event here in the Middle East, in Dubai, in the beautiful Taj here. Thank you so much for joining us. I thought we'd kick off our conversation actually with, as a prolific global investor, very well-known investor too, might I add, what sort of sectors in India and the UAE in particular are you sort of most excited about right now?
Sure. I would say, without narrowing it down too specifically, I would say we spend a lot of time on fintech, a lot of time on software as a service or SaaS, a lot of time on businesses that are built on data science and artificial intelligence backbones, and then finally consumer tech. And that could be food, transportation, a variety of subsectors, content, short form video, and then lastly, B2B, which is business to business commerce. Most of these sectors actually are spaces that we've hunted in and found really tremendous founders, and then actually in many cases transplanted part of these businesses to the UAE, to Abu Dhabi, and availed of the data science and the AI and the ML and the other resources that the UAE offers Indian founders.
So much incredible opportunity. I'd like to quickly go back to your company now. It's now known as AlphaWave. Are you able to tell us a little bit more about why you sort of changed the rebrand at all?
Sure. When we launched almost 10 years ago now, actually exactly 10 years ago, we launched as Falcon Edge Capital. It was co-founded by myself, Rick Gerson, my partner, and Ryan Khoury. And we were predominantly a public markets focused investor for the first couple of years of our life. And in about 2014, with great foresight, or 2013 even, my co-founder, Rick, examined the typical public market business model and felt that there was much more value that we could add as a team of 3 through our networks, our relationships, also our investment style, our diligence process, our desire to build businesses on the private side than on the public side. There's not, as you can imagine, when you're investing in a publicly listed company, there's not a whole lot of business building that you can provide. Information is fairly symmetric, and your interactions with founders are limited, and your interactions with management are fairly scripted. Your ability to bring your networks and your relationships and your enthusiasm and passion to build businesses is somewhat controlled or restrained. So in about 2013-14, we began focusing on the private side. Fast forward 8 years later, and painfully but with great enthusiasm, we've built a private business that now is 80% of our business, of what we do. Our private business, by the way, was always called some derivative of AlphaWave. So we have a very early stage seed and Series A, Series B business that has a very, very interesting relationship with the UAE, and that's called AlphaWave Incubation. Our later stage investing on the private side has always been called AlphaWave Ventures. And so about 6 months ago, Rick, Ryan, and I sat down and said to ourselves, look, we're now at a point where we're a circa $15+ billion firm from a $1 billion firm at launch 10 or 11 years ago. And 80% of our passion, our energy, our enthusiasm, and our assets are focused on the private side. And so the firm should sort of reflect more of that ethos. And so we rebranded the firm's name to Alpha Wave Global. Within that, our early stage business is Alpha Wave Incubation, our late stage business is Alpha Wave Ventures. So I think hopefully that gives you a sense of the thought that went through where it was behind the rebranding.
Thank you so much. And also very interesting to hear about this new Alpha Wave incubation, the strong ties, of course, here to the UAE. Very quickly, before we pull our next set of guests up, because we're going to have a panel in just a moment, including yourself, if you'd like to stay with us, of course. What would you say are the key signposts then before investing in a company for you? What especially do you look out for?
It varies on we play, I specifically focus on this barbell approach where we're quite ruthless in either being very early, seed, Series A, Series B, but a Series B is largely if we're already in the asset as a Series A investor, and then we go quite late. And the signposts I look for on both sides of that barbell, we don't really do very much in between. This is our playbook. It's worked really well. And so we stick to kind of this pattern of investing. On the early side, we're looking at, in no particular order, founder quality. Is this a founder that has some domain expertise? Is he relentless? Is he willing to run through brick walls in the pursuit of his business? Does he have the highest standards of integrity? On that, there can be zero compromise. Does he come well referenced from people that have worked with him in the past? Is he able to take a punch in the face and pivot and not sit back down and kind of continue to go? Because very often some of the most successful businesses in the world have come from multiple pivots. I personally look for founders that have a chip on their shoulder. Has something happened in their life? It could be trauma, it could be ex-professional athletes, it could be even the loss of someone dear to them that has instilled in them this desire to prove themselves to the world. Is there humility, willingness to accept and seek out non-confirming evidence? So those are some of the things. And then on top of that, product market fit. Is this a space that is open to disruption? Is the industry structure aligned with disruption? And what are the early signposts of product market fit? Is it a large market that they're trying to attack or address? Those are the 3 or 4 fairly straightforward things we look at for a seed or a Series A business. When it comes to the later stage investing, it's more scientific and less art. And it's really, is it late enough for me and my team to discern either dominance or the outlines of dominance? Is it late enough for me and my team to discern robust unit economics? Is this a business that can actually make money at scale? Is it late enough to discern a track record of execution and execution excellence from the founder and the management team? Is it early enough for us to underwrite a 3 to 5x on the capital in? So if we put 100 million in over a 3 to 5 year period of time, can we extract or make $300 to $500 million on that $100 million investment?
Some great advice.
Those are the two kind of yardsticks that we use.